Welcome back to ajspeller.com. In today's tutorial, we're going to divide mixed numbers. All right, let's start with our first example. Let's say that we have 2 and 3/8, and that's going to be divided by 2 and 1/2. The first thing we need to do is to change these mixed numbers into their improper fraction equivalents. We do that by multiplying the denominator times the whole number, and then we take that product and we add to it the numerator. So here we end up with 8 times 2 plus 3. Well, 8 times 2 is 16, plus the 3 gives us 19. So this first mixed number is going to turn into 19/8 because we keep the current denominator. Do the same thing for the second mixed number here. Going to multiply the denominator times the whole number, and then we're going to add on to that product the value of the numerator. So here we have 2 times 2, and we want to add on, 1. So 2 times 2 to give me 4, plus that 1 to give me 5, and I keep my denominator of 2, so here I have 5 halves. So what I have here is 19/8 divided by 5 halves, but we know from multiplying, we know from dividing mixed numbers and fractions, we have to multiply by the reciprocal. So that means we keep the 19, we change it to a multiplication problem, and we flip or write the reciprocal of 5 halves, which turns into 2/5. At this point, I see that we can cross cancel. We have a 2 and an 8. They share a factor of 2, so 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 8 divided by 2 is 4. And again, we just multiply across our numerators and across our denominators. So 19 times 1 to give me 19, and 4 times 5 to give me 20. Here I have a proper fraction, so I stop here at 19/20. That's the quotient for that particular division problem. All right, let's move on to another example. This time, let's do 3.5 divided by 2 and 3/4. Again, we're going to do the same thing as far as changing these mixed numbers into improper fractions. So the denominator times the whole number, and we take that product and add to it the numerator. So this here turns into 3 times 2 plus 1. Well, 3 times 2 is 6, and then we add the 1 to get 7. And we're going to have 7 as our numerator, and we keep the denominator of 2. And then let's go ahead and let's evaluate this mixed number or convert this mixed number into an improper fraction. Again, the denominator times the whole number, and we want to add in the numerator. So this one here is 4 times 2, and we want to add on 3 to that. Well, 4 times 2 is 8, plus that 3 gives us 11. So 11 is the numerator, and we keep that denominator of 4. And then let's rewrite again. So 7 halves divided by 11/4. Remember that when we're dividing, we keep the first fraction, we change the problem to multiplication, and we write the reciprocal of the second fraction, which makes this 4/11. And again, I see that we can cross cancel. So here the 2 and the 4 share a factor of 2. Half of 2 is 1, and half of 4 is 2. We multiply across numerators and across denominators. 7 times 2 to give me 14, and 1 times 11 to give me 11. This here is an improper fraction, so we're going to convert this into its mixed number equivalent. Our denominator is our divisor, and our numerator is our dividend. 11 goes into 14 one time. 1 times 11 is 11. 14 minus 11 is 3. So now I have enough to write my answer here as a mixed number. My quotient 1 becomes my whole number. My remainder 3 becomes my numerator. The 11, my divisor, becomes my denominator. So here I see that my quotient is 1 and 3/11 when we evaluated this division problem. And let's move on to our last example. Here we have 2 and 5/8. Well, let's make some space first. We have 2 and 5/8, and we want to divide that by 2/11. All right, we're going to do what we've done before. We're going to convert this mixed number into an improper fraction. So the denominator times the whole number, and then we add to that product the numerator. So here we have 8 times 2, and we want to add on 5. Well, 8 times 2 is 16, and then we want to add on the 5 to that. 16 plus 5 leaves me with 21. So this first mixed number as an improper fraction is 21 eighths. And then I don't have to convert anything here because this here is already a proper fraction. So let's just rewrite. I have 21 eighths divided by 2 elevenths. Well, the rules say I keep the first fraction the same at 21 eighths. I flip it to multiplication, and then I write the reciprocal of the second fraction. So this here is 11 halves. And now I multiply across my numerators and then across my denominators. So 8 times 2 to get 16. And then let's do, you know what, let's go ahead and just do the standard multiplication for the 21 times 11. So 21 times 11, 1 times 1 to give me 1, 1 times 2 to give me 2, a 0 to hold my place, 1 times 1 to give me 1, 1 times 2 to give me 2, and then I add up these two partial products. 1 plus 0 to give me 1, 2 plus 1 to give me 3, and 2 plus nothing to give me 3. So my numerator here is 231. And what I need to do is change this improper fraction into a mixed number. So this 16 is my divisor. The 231 is my dividend. 16 goes into 23 one time. 1 times 16 is 16. I'm going to regroup, so I'm going to change this 2 to a 1, that 3 to a 13. So I have 13 minus 6, which is 7. Then I bring down this 1, and now we need to figure out how many times does 16 go into 71. Let's try 16 times 5. Well, 6 times 5 is 30, and 5 times 1 is 5, plus 3 gives me 8. Well, that's too much, so I know it can go 4 times. So 4 times 16, well, I know 16 and 16 is 32, and another 16 and 16 is 32. Well, and 32 plus 32 is 64. Do my subtraction, I need to regroup. The 7 becomes a 6, that becomes a 1, and 11 minus 4 is 7. So here I see that this improper fraction becomes the quotient is the whole number 14, my remainder is my numerator, and my divisor is my denominator. So 14 and 7/16 is the solution or the quotient for that division problem. All right, that sums up this video by ajspeller.com. And as always, thank you for watching.